Today, I want to tell you about a situation that has become increasingly common in our practice. And it's a situation where a family owns a piece of land, maybe even a house, and they've owned it for a long time. So long, in fact, that, and we'll use land as an example because I see that more often, but they've owned it so long that the original owners passed away and the land was left to their children. Sometimes those children have passed away and the land was left to their children. And you see where I'm going with this. What we find are families where there might be 10, 15, or more people who have ownership interest in a piece of land. And it gets harder to handle. Typically, there's one or two people in the family who are paying the taxes on the land, who are somewhat responsible for it, but there's lots of owners. So what becomes increasingly difficult is selling the land, should the family ever decide to do so. You know, it can get to the point where it's almost impossible. In fact, with each generation, it gets harder and harder and harder. Why? Well, let's just say there's a piece of land and there's now 10 people who have ownership interest in the land. And, you know, you go to round up those people to sign papers to sell the land, and you've got the matter of, are they going to agree on how it's done, the price, and the way it's being sold? Is everybody competent? Can you find everybody? We have situations where we just can't find certain family members. We've had situations where one is in jail and hard to get them to sign what they need to sign. And more often than not, we can work through situations like that and get the land sold. But there's been many cases where it just hasn't happened. I can think of one that I've encountered where not everybody agreed, not everybody could be found. Now, I suppose a court could be petitioned at some point, and if the court is convinced that it truly can't be done by finding the people who are responsible, well, maybe an order can be issued that will allow it to be sold under certain circumstances. So, that's something you could fall back on. But all that to say that if there's property in your family, it's best to either let somebody in that family buy it, take complete ownership of it, or sell it before there gets to be too many people. If you have a situation now where everybody agrees, everybody can be reached, boy, it's a great time to either put it in one or two people's hands or sell it. So, little insight today. Hope you don't get in that situation. If you are, we've helped lots of people through it. Not always the easiest thing to do, but we'd love to help, and I'm sure your local realtor would as well.